News when you want it. With Bloomberg News Now, I'm Ed Kalegi. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky hailed the potential for reliable and lasting peace after speaking with President Trump at the Vatican. Posting on X, Zelensky said, "We discussed a lot one-on-one, hoping for results on everything we covered. Very symbolic meeting that has potential to become historic if we achieve joint results." The 15-minute meeting took place just before the funeral for Pope Francis, as Trump presses for a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia to end the longest European conflict since World War II. The White House said Trump and Zelensky had a productive discussion. The Islamic Republic's top diplomat said Saturday that Iran and the U.S. held more detailed discussions aimed at reaching a potential deal over Tehran's nuclear program. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi told state TV after the third round of talks, this round of negotiations was much more serious than before. He continued, "We gradually entered more detailed technical discussions." The discussion stretched over 5 hours, marking the longest meeting between Iranian and U.S. officials since Oman-mediated talks began this month. The delegations agreed to reconvene next week for a fourth time. Iranian state television reports 5 people died, more than 700 injured in a powerful explosion that engulfed a commercial port in Iran on the Strait of Hormuz Saturday. The blast, which was felt in nearby cities, was triggered by an explosion of several cargo containers at the Shahid Raji port in the city of Bandar Abbas. The Associated Press cited a possible link to a recent shipment of rocket fuel from China intended to replenish Iran's missile stocks, which have been depleted by the country's attacks on Israel in the course of its war with Hamas in Gaza. Forecasters anticipate President Trump's trade war will hit economic growth this year and next as tariffs push prices higher and put a dent in consumer spending. Bloomberg's Karen Moscow has more.
Economists surveyed by Bloomberg have lowered their forecast for economic growth, now saying the U.S. economy is set to expand 1.4% this year and 1.5% the next. That's down from last month's survey. The median respondent now sees a 45% chance of a downturn in the next 12 months. That's up from 30% in March. President Trump's decision to impose 145% tariffs on China, the third largest U.S. trading partner, and at least 10% duties on most other countries, has many forecasters warning of a sharp economic slowdown ahead, with some predicting a recession this year. That's in part due to sizable downward revisions to household demand, which accounts for about 2/3 of gross domestic product. Karen Moscow, Bloomberg Radio.
On this final weekend before national elections, Mark Carney says he expects Donald Trump will try to extract major concessions from Canada in negotiations, and that he takes seriously the president's stated desire to turn the country into a U.S. state. Carney told reporters he takes Trump literally and always has. Canada has retaliated against U.S. tariffs with its own import taxes on tens of billions of dollars of American-made goods. Trump said in an interview published by Time this week that he's really not trolling when he talks about turning Canada into the 51st U.S. state. The head of Chrome testified that Google is the only company that can offer the level of features and functionality that its popular web browser has today, given its interdependencies on other parts of the Alphabet unit. Parisa Tabriz, the browser's general manager, said Friday as part of the Justice Department's antitrust case in Washington federal court that Chrome represents 17 years of collaboration between the Chrome people and the rest of Google. She added that trying to disentangle that is unprecedented. It's just about time for graduating high school seniors to commit to their college enrollments. But if they want into an elite school, more of their parents may be feeling the squeeze. Bloomberg's Nathan Hager has the details.
Bloomberg did an analysis of financial aid data from 50 selective colleges. It found many middle-class families earning anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000 make too much to qualify for financial aid. The squeeze starts at about $150,000 when families are expected to fork over about 20% of their income. At $270,000, the burden goes up to about $61,000. See where your top school stacks up. We have an interactive financial aid chart at Bloomberg.com. Nathan Hager, Bloomberg Radio.
As tensions with Russia rise, 13 Norwegian soldiers have been sent to the far north to test the cold's effects on their minds, bodies, and equipment. Norway is on a 100-day mission to test military limits in the Arctic. You can read all about it in Bloomberg's Weekend Edition, exploring the places where finance, life, and culture meet on Bloomberg.com and the Bloomberg Business app. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Ed Kalegi. This is Bloomberg.